Welcome back to Cindy's Library. This is Cindy, and today I'm going to talk about what I have been reading for the past week. So let us get to it. Haven't read very much in Windsor Castle by W. Harrison Ainsworth this week. There, that's a bit more visible. But I did read a couple chapters anyway, so I'll have to get moving along. Still on about almost the halfway mark. Oh, I forgot to say last week that I've been listening to John Halifax Gentleman by Dinah Maria Moloch. And I'm guessing I'm 2/5 through, something like that. So this one is an interesting one, written during the Victorian period, but it's clearly about it's clearly during the Napoleonic Wars. So there you go. And yes, poor John Halifax. He is in the unenviable position of being alone in the world till he meets Phineas, and Phineas talks his father, Tanner, into taking him on, and the two become the best of friends, and things go on. And hopefully John will eventually become a gentleman, at least in character and action, if not in title. And I've been reading some Elizabeth Barrett Browning, so that has been great. And halfway through, basically, Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. I listened to it the first time, and I liked it, but I can't say I loved it. I'm rather loving it this time. And I am 3/5 through Dracula, something like that, by Bram Stoker, for anyone who hasn't read it yet. It truly is not what you think. It's very different from the movies. Let us see. Oh, another fun fact. It is not the first vampire story by a long way. So, which makes it rather interesting, especially the beginning part where John Harkness is sent by his boss to make certain legal arrangements for Dracula, and he is totally oblivious, but all the people are like, don't go, and the people reading it actually at the time, like us, would have been, don't go. But of course he goes, and things go on from there. And I read a digital copy from the library for my book group, The Secret War of Julia Child by Diana R. Chambers. And yes, I did get it done in time for book group. Now this one is kind of interesting because it's Julia Child before she was Julia Child. This is historical fiction, and in some ways it leans even more heavily towards the fiction than might be normal, because to the end of her days, Julie would say, oh yeah, I worked for whatever department during the war, pushing paper. She might even have admitted as much to being in Asia, but she never said any more than that. So there's a lot of speculation in there. But the author really did do a lot of research into the area and into the actual bases in India, in China, into the personalities of the military leaders and things like that. So I can appreciate all of that. And also that none of that seemed to be heavy-handed. I can also appreciate that this is a different theater of World War II than we usually get for the World War II historical novel. We get India, we get Burma, and we get China in the Pacific theater, which I greatly appreciated because there's definitely stories to be told there too, not just in Europe. Important as stories in Europe are, they aren't the only stories. I also appreciated the love story between Julia and Paul because he is there too. And at first it's rather like Elizabeth with Mr. Darcy. She rather can't stand him, and yet she can't help but notice him. And things go on from there. I also appreciate into this relationship that it is portrayed by the end, which is one where he is completely supportive of Julia and her strengths. So, for complete historical accuracy, I had to take it with a grain of salt, but for a love story and the setting, I would say it is worth reading. And I would also say, as far as enjoyability for me, as someone who doesn't enjoy historical fiction very much, I actually did rather enjoy this one. For a historical fiction, I would call it enjoyable for me. So I guess we will call that a win. In other news, going to continue on with everything. Might switch it up a tad as far as what gets worked on more, but yeah, Victober is going great. I'm not sure I'll quite finish everything, but I should be able to finish a number of things by the end of the month. And we still have a bit to go. So here is hoping for a wonderful rest of Victober. Are you doing Victober? How's it been going for you? Or if not, are you doing another challenge? Or no challenge at all, you're just enjoying reading. I'd love to hear all about it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly do appreciate it. So until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy. And as always, happy reading.